Welcome back. I'm Sarah, and we're still working on our goat. We've wrapped the armature about to the point where it's time to start creating some shapes to add dimension. I recommend, if you're working on an animal, to research, to look at it closely, go to Google Images, or if you have a book, that's what I do, because each animal has characteristics that are unique to it, and that's what we're trying to capture in our sculpture. So I'm going to make some shapes that I went over in a previous episode. We're going to make some kind of these little half circle pillow type shapes and a bunch of rectangle shapes. So I'm going to go over how I do it without a ton of explanation, because it's in the other videos. So to make a belly, goats have a really big kind of drop down pot belly. I'm gonna, instead of wrapping, which will build it up evenly all the way around, I want to make a shape that's gonna create that dimension without adding wool anywhere else. So this is the way that I do it. So I take 2 lengths of wool. These are about 24 inches, and I tie a knot in the middle, again with the consistent firmness is good. And then using the shape of the knot, you have kind of a flat area, and you have an area where the knot meets. I'm gonna wrap in a crisscross pattern. Alright, I'm gonna demonstrate that. I go over this side, under the center, and then over this side. And the reason I want to do it this way is because this gives me a really nice, soft, rounded shape for the belly. So I finished that side out, and now I'm just smoothing the wool out, making it easier to wrap. And now I do this half of the knot, under the center, over this side. It almost makes like a crescent or triangle kind of shape. And then I can felt that down. So it's a little pointier here, a little flatter here. It's a little rounder on this side and a little flatter on this side. So if you can make 2 shapes the same, then you can kind of play with what's the best, positioning on the body. I like putting the flatter side kind of meeting the body here, and the rounder side coming down. So now I'm going to make my second piece. Okay, so I have both my belly shapes, but I realized before I put those on, I want to put a chest piece on. So the chest is just a rectangle. This piece is about 3 inches wide and maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches this way. And I put it horizontally on my felting surface. And I want to define the center 1/3. And I want this to be about the width of the sheep's chest, so 1 inch or so. And then I'm going to fold each half into that center, each third into that center third. And I don't over felt. I don't want to felt the dimension out of it. I want to leave a little bit of dimension to it. So now I've got this rectangle. Before we put the belly on, we're going to put this on. Always make sure that you put your animal, even if it seems like kind of a strange position, so that it's against the felting surface, so that when you're felting, it's backed up, it's supported. So the chest, we want these kind of fringy edges to go to the base of the neck, and then under the front legs, and just beyond the elbows here. They just have a nice little prominent chest, so it takes an extra piece to create that. And notice I'm stabbing on the edges. I'm not just stabbing right in the center. That would just flatten the chest out that we just created. So I'm coming in from the edges to attach it while leaving the dimension. Okay. Goat has a chest. Now let's put the belly on. So like I said, I'm going to find the sort of flatter side of my shape, and I want it to go towards the goat's back. And I'm just going to get it going, start to get it to stick by felting the top. And I'm going to do the other one. And they're going to meet. Underneath in the middle here. It'll have kind of a seam, but I'll show you how we take care of that. Okay, so that's kind of like a little weird looking and does not look particularly integrated. But to integrate all of this, I'm going to take a nice long piece of wool and just wrap around the whole thing. Make sure my wool is smooth and consistent so that when I wrap it, it goes smoothly. I'm going to go a couple times right behind the front legs here just to build that up a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of crisscross over these belly pieces to hold them centered. Don't forget to, make the wool work for you. You're not held to the shape that it's in or the thickness that it is or the bumps in it. You can work it, make it work for you. Stretch it out, smooth it out, pull on it. Okay, I'm going to take this other half and just go around the center. So this has all these kind of funky bumps that I just don't want to deal with, so I'm just going to pull them off. Alright, felt that a little bit. Did spend a lot of time felting this a little smoother and a little tighter. I'm just kind of moving along a little bit. But now we have a fat goat. Okay, so we are coming along with this fat little goat, and next time I think we will concentrate on the shapes that are needed for the head, and then it may be another 2 or 3 videos, I'm not sure, but I'm going to talk about how to make a pelt. And I'll use the goat as our example, but I mean, sky's the limit with the animals that you choose to use this. I use it on almost all the animals I make this pelt and lay it on, and it blends all the colors together really well. So, yeah, I look forward to sharing that with you and taking this project all the way to a finished little being. Thanks a lot.